Success, failure in creativity is decided by this one concept. Now, if that's not a clickbait title, I don't know what is. And it seems a little early on this channel for me to rock out the clickbait. I mean, we're like 5 videos in, right? But I promise this is real. This is a real thing. I feel very strongly about this topic. Yeah, even, you know, I mean, what else could be more important to talk about right now? Yeah, I can't think of anything that would be as important as this. Yeah. Well, if we're gonna talk about something important, we gotta do it right. So, come here.
And we're doing it from the comfy chair, which I guess is kind of ironic because this is like a big important concept, but I want to be comfortable talking to you about it. I don't know. I think it makes sense. And I also have to wonder, I mean, am I really qualified to talk to you about the thing that's going to determine the success or failure of your creative life? I mean, I feel like an expert. And sometimes I feel like I'm not, but I think I'm qualified.
You're not.
But I am.
You're not a psychologist.
No, I am a human being who is introspective, creative, and can articulate a vital concept for your creative life. Embracing cognitive dissonance. Does sound impressive. Yes, I know. A little egotistical. But what does your word salad have to do with my creative life? Only everything. So let's begin. I get to say that. Hey everybody, Joe Kelly here. Welcome to the channel. I have wanted to cover this topic since day one, but it felt a little too big for one of the first videos that I did. But now we've gotten to know each other, we've had a couple of laughs, we've made some memories together. So I feel like it's time to discuss embracing cognitive dissonance. This concept has been gnawing at me for a long time, for years, but I really couldn't put a name to it until I had a teensy-weensy nervous breakdown during the course of the pandemic. Once I clawed myself out of bed, this feeling that something was really wrong finally manifested as something I could wrap my head around. And at the risk of sounding grandiose about it, this concept is really at the heart of everything I want to talk about on this channel. And trust me, despite the fact that I have spent 25 years as a professional creative and many, many years before that just making for fun, I've only recently grasped this concept myself. It's a big one, and it's one of the few things, and I'm going to suggest to you on this channel, that I honestly feel that you have to accept whole cloth, no questions asked. Nope, that makes me uncomfortable, and I do not like it. You're still here? Forever, pal. Look, don't be scared. This is the easiest, hardest concept to grasp because you've been doing it, avoiding it your entire life. No, sir, that is not helping. Just do the thing. Cognitive dissonance describes the mental discomfort we feel when we are confronted with two beliefs or values that are incompatible with each other. If you've been a human alive in the 21st century, you've likely experienced this feeling. I love my Uncle Fred, but he tells me 5G towers spread coronavirus. I believe in free speech, but I abhor violent protest. I believe in X political party, but my representative's stance on Y is just batshit crazy. Or something really important like, I love superhero films, but I don't like the way you directed it. My favorite superhero. You know who you are, director, dude. So cognitive dissonance is happening all the time around you. You generally don't notice it because your brain just moves on. For example, the weather person told you last night that today was going to be beautiful and sunny, so you plan to go to the beach. But today when you woke up, it's pouring cats and dogs. This is a low cost, low pressure situation. That collision of ideas doesn't really ruin you. You're a little bummed out, you change your plans, you move on. But when we're confronted with more challenging, conflicting concepts, that's when cognitive dissonance kicks in really hard. For that moment, the world does not make sense, and that freaks out the little part of our brains that wants everything to be nice and continuous and organized. We become anxious, irritable, even depressed, all of which is no bueno for the creative. Every time you sit down to create, you're exposing yourself to the world, you're vulnerable, and these conflicting ideas can come in, ideas that are true, but in opposition. Like, the thing I'm making right now is the most important thing I can create. This thing I'm making is meaningless in the grand scheme of the universe. My art is worth doing. It brings me joy. Joy does not pay them bills. I want to be unique and true to myself. I am shitting my pants right now because I am going to be judged. Cognitive dissonance like this is especially challenging for a creative because it just feeds into our all too human instinct not to do anything that makes us stand apart. You know, humans are herd animals, and we don't ever want to do anything that sets us apart from the herd, that separates us out. Yeah, even though every bit of advertising, entertainment, propaganda, politics, self-help tells us that we're unique and that we have to protect our individuality at all costs, and how I have to crush anybody who opposes me. Dude, yeah, it's been a tough couple of years. This is a safe space. No space is safe. Death comes for us all. Oh God, do I really sound like that? Yeah, when you're not doing your little song and dance, whistling past the graveyard thing. Yeah. Anytime we try something new, experimental, or novel, part of our brains worries that we are going to be rejected from the herd. Now, take that prehistoric impulse and mash it up with all the modern pressures of politics, social media, society. It's fear fuel for the haunted house in your brain. The very act of creation is an act of faith, audacity, and illogic. Because you have a strong desire that's truthful, and yet, if you look at the numbers, the deck is stacked against you. How many hundreds of thousands of stories have been told? Why is mine going to be special? There's 5 billion channels on YouTube. Who's gonna check out mine and like and subscribe and smash that bell? Yeah. Of all the voices out there in the world, why do I have a right to use mine? The struggle to create in light of all of these questions and all these conflicting ideas is real. And I mean, this is where the stereotype of the struggling, tortured artist comes from. Actual psychology. Yeah, and occasionally actual mental illness, drug abuse, and too many paint fumes. And it doesn't matter if you're new to the game or you've been around for a while, the feeling doesn't go away. So does that mean we're doomed to a life of conflicting ideas? Absolutely. 100%. So quit now. No, why not? Because art. Truth. Continue. Yes, we will always be set upon by cognitive dissonance, but instead of fighting it, we can learn to embrace it. It's like the old monsters in the fables of yore. Once you put a name to that thing slinking around in the dark, it loses its power over you. First, we have to acknowledge it, and I hope this belabored metaphor will help you understand what I'm getting at. Yeah, you do tend to hit people over the head with things sometimes. Same with your writing. Try some subtext, maybe, or subtlety. Yeah. Maybe shower, since we're sticking with S words. Shower. Yeah, okay. Once you start to get into the habit of identifying cognitive dissonance as it's happening, you have a few tools to help you deal with it. First, identify what belief is actually under assault in your mind. And second, figure out whether or not that belief is actually important to you. Sometimes we hold on to things just because our parents did, and they're not actually meaningful to us. So, easy example. I believe that I'm a healthy person and I currently would like to begin exercising. But I don't want to exercise because the gym is far away and it costs money and meh. And now I feel guilty because I didn't work out. Guilt doesn't do anything for us. So let's go to the beliefs. Am I a healthy person? Yes, because I'm pretending I'm you. So should I exercise? You bet. But all those things that I said before were still true. It's far away, it's expensive, I don't like the gym. So what can I do instead? What is the minimum action I can take that aligns itself with the belief that I am a healthy person and I am currently working on my diet? How about take a walk around the block? How about I hop on my bike and do a couple miles? Fortify the belief you feel is under assault. Your brain is going to work its way through the pain of these conflicting ideas one way or another. So why not try to take the reins and affect positive change in your life as opposed to letting your subconscious drive you into anxiety, frustration, and depression? Well, creatives have the tools. We're hardwired with the tools to get ourselves out of the confusion of cognitive dissonance. You can use these tools to transform your creative journey into one of possibility and abundance as opposed to paralysis and confusion. It all starts with 2 words: and so. My art is worth doing because it brings me joy, and joy does not pay my bills. So I am going to find a survival job that's going to help me maximize creativity in my non-working hours. The thing I'm working on is incredibly meaningful, and it's meaningless in the grand scheme of the universe, just like everything else on the planet. So I am going to pursue something that brings me joy in the hopes that I might bring joy to somebody else. I want to be true to myself and show the world who I am. And I am still shitting my pants because I'm afraid of being judged. So I will just make small pieces of art that I share with one trusted ally. And maybe after that, I'll expand my circle. Instead of fighting against or ignoring conflicting ideas, embrace them, work with them. They're not going anywhere. They're like the lanes of a bowling alley. Oh, it's another fucking metaphor. They're always there, they're immovable, so let's live between the extremes and just knock down as many pins as we can. Life is a beautiful mess, so accept the conflicting currents of your universe. Feel your feelings, and then turn them into art. Even if no one's watching, even if everyone's watching, embrace cognitive dissonance and build a life that allows your creativity to flourish. Right? All right. I still think we're a talentless hack, desperately clinging to our youth because death is inevitable. And I think that I still have a thing or two to say. So I'm going to keep putting work out into the world. How about you?